You'd think by now that the Houthi terrorists would have learned an obvious lesson from Hamas, from Hezbollah, and yes, from Iran. Strike at Israel, and you are signing your own death warrant. H-A-F-O. Houthi around and find out. The IDF just delivered another devastating blow to Iran's axis of terror. Wow. The IDF launched this targeted campaign, an airstrike in the capital of Yemen Thursday on senior Houthi commanders who were gathering there to hear a speech by the leader of the Houthis, Abdul-Malik al-Houthi. That's the man's name. Like the beeper attack, like the bunker buster strike that eliminated Hezbollah's commander, Hassan Nasrallah. This was one of Israel's boldest military actions yet. At the moment, it's still a little unclear, but the outcomes here. Reports suggest that Israel killed the Houthis' prime minister, Ahmed Ghaleb al-Rawi. Israel may have also killed the Houthis' defense minister, Mohammed al-Atifi, and the chief of staff, Mohammed Abd al-Karim al-Gamari. Again, outcome not completely clear, but Prime Minister Netanyahu has been warning the Houthis. He's been telling them for months, you better knock it off. Stop firing ballistic missiles at Israel. There have been these one-off attacks in the middle of the night in which Israel's Iron Dome almost always intercepts the missile before it even reaches Israeli airspace. It's like, what's the point? They're dead. It's serious. Sirens still sounding. Millions of us, run to the bomb shelter at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Can I be honest? There's a lethality to it, but it's like a mosquito bite. What are we doing? And Netanyahu keeps telling the Houthis, you mess around. You mess around. Well, on Thursday, H-A-F-O. They learned that that's what happens. You find out. Here's Prime Minister Netanyahu telling the Houthis, you better knock it off. Yeah, this is Netanyahu speaking in Hebrew, so let me just translate quickly. He says that he said the Houthi terrorist regime is learning the hard way, yes, that it will pay and is paying a very heavy price for its aggression against Israel. Now, he also warned, and I quote again, whoever attacks us, we will attack him. Whoever plans to attack us, we will attack him. End of quote. Netanyahu is 100% correct. Don't mess with God's covenant nation. When are they going to learn? Here's what's really incredible about the justice that Israel delivered. As al-Houthi, the man I was telling you about, the leader, he was delivering that speech, Israel was monitoring. They knew in real time. They knew the location. They knew where the Houthis were watching from. And they launched that strike. The commander had no idea that the command structure, the people he was preaching to, were being taken out and systematically dismantled one by one, or all at once, I should say. But while the world dithers, while diplomatic bureaucrats, hold high-level, trilateral, bilateral talks and meetings, Israel again steps up to solve the world's problems. America, if you're wondering why support Israel, this is why. Israel is the tip of the spear fighting radical Islam to keep the problem here instead of letting it expand. Remember this? Do you remember this? Next month actually marks 1 year since Israel eliminated Hassan Nasrallah. This was incredible. Highly coordinated, this strike. While Prime Minister Netanyahu was speaking at the UN, and Hezbollah, the henchmen, they were gathered there to watch, and this bunker buster came in, boom, one on top of another, took out Hassan Nasrallah. One more I want to show you. Just before the strike, I know you remember this. Just the sound. Here it is again. Yeah, that's right. Just before the strike that eliminated Nasrallah, Israel took out 12 Hezbollah terrorists. Picking some fruit. Look at that. You know what was amazing? One of our producers here notices that the guy took out that guy, but the fruit was fine. And the other people ran. They scurried around. that was the beeper attack, the pager attack. Israel turned Hezbollah's own tech against them. The message, is this on? Loud and clear. Terror comes with consequences. Stop messing with Israel. Israel systematically is dismantling Iran's terror network. Going alone where and when and how we have to, even as the world condemns Israel for doing so. There's a pattern. When the world fails to act against evil, God raises up his chosen instrument to execute judgment. Now, I want you to listen to this. It's important. This is what Defense Minister Israel Katz said after the strike. This is profound. He said, as we warned the Houthis in Yemen, after the plague of darkness comes the plague of the firstborn. Katz is referencing the final plague against the Pharaoh in Exodus, the death of the firstborn. This wasn't just a military saber rattling. This was a biblical warning. I mean, if you're going to talk some trash and use the Bible to do it, hat tip to you. That's about the least threatening looking defense minister on planet. Am I right? He looks like, joke with the guys, he looks like he wants to, you could sit down and have an ice cream cone with. He doesn't look like the guy in charge of the most lethal military in the Middle East. But go ahead, enemies of Israel, keep underestimating Israel. The Pharaoh hardened his heart against God's people. Israel, and the man that we could sit and have an ice cream cone with, has delivered the plague, just like he said, against the leadership of the Houthis. Now, here's where it gets even more biblical. The Houthis' slogan is death to America, death to Israel, a curse on the Jews. What does the Bible say? Genesis 12:3, it says, I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. We're literally watching this biblical principle as it's playing out in real time. Could we send a Bible to the leader of the Houthis? Could we say, do they even know? Do you think they even know what it says? Do they care? Of course they don't care. You can roll that video again. Go ahead. So most people in Israel, and maybe you're saying, okay, I've heard of Hamas, I've heard of Hezbollah. Who are the Houthis again? Pirates. They're Iran-backed. Most Israelis hadn't really even heard about the Houthis until the ballistic missile that you just saw. Play one more time. The ballistic missile started raining down, or tried to be. Look, they'll fire one rocket. We get the alarm sounding still. Usually Israel intercepts, but just as a precaution, they sound the sirens and people go into their safe rooms. Israel and Yemen don't even share a border. 1,100 miles of distance. So why? Why are they attacking Israel? Because what Israel does have is Jerusalem. The land that God describes in Ezekiel 5:5 as the center of the spiritual universe. Look it up. And when you attack the apple of God's eye, like it says in Zechariah, you're not just fighting a nation. You're fighting the Almighty himself, the creator of the universe, who made a covenant with this land that he would protect it. Like it says in the Psalms. Never slumber nor sleep. Israel is solving the world's problems. You may not hear about it in the mainstream media or wherever you're watching. Our mandate here at the Real Life Network is to tell you, to connect what's going on biblically with what's going on in the headlines today. The Houthis thought distance would protect them. Wrong. They thought we can continue to attack God's covenant people. Wrong. Israel's military, is it really the strongest in the Middle East? Yep. And if you think cursing Israel is going to bring victory, wrong again. The Houthis are learning what every enemy of Israel throughout history has learned. Genesis 12:3 is not a suggestion. It's a commanded promise from God himself. From Israel, for the Real Life Network. I'm Daniel Cohen.